Hi, I'm JD, and what we're going to be doing today is dividing a polynomial by another polynomial. So if you would, pause the video and see if you can try to do this one on your own. Alright, now what you have to do for this one is our good friends long division. So you have x cubed, you write that here, x cubed plus 0x squared plus 4x plus 5. This 0 right here serves as a spacer. These exponents should descend, so 3, 2, 1, and then 0, which is x to 0, which is just 1. And then you have x minus 5. Now, what you do here is somewhat easy, somewhat hard, because what you're going to be doing is a long division. So it's similar to long division with just numbers. So you're going to notice the same strategy, but here you can do the exact value. So you have x cubed. What times x will give you an x cubed? Right, x squared. So you place that here. And then underneath you do x squared times this. What's x squared times x minus 5? Right, it's x cubed minus 5x squared. Now what you're going to do now is you're going to subtract. When you subtract, you change the signs. And what I do is I use usually I don't use a different color, but here I'm going to use a different color so you can see what's going on. I distribute the negative sign. And when I do that, I circle it, and I put it right next to it. This shows me, okay, I'm subtracting. Not only that, it shows me what sign I had before, just in case if I make a mistake. Then right here you just simply, you're going to subtract, but since I distributed the negative sign, you're going to add. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. It's going to cancel out. And you purposely plan to do that. Then you have 0x squared plus 5x squared. That gives you 5x squared. Then what you do next is you bring down the next term. Now, you ask yourself the same question. What times 5x squared? Well, let me rephrase that. What times x will equal 5x squared? Positive 5x. So then you distribute, you take the 5x and then you multiply it by this. This gives you 5x squared minus 25x. Then you do the same thing. You do the opposite sign, so you distribute a negative 1 throughout this because you're subtracting. And when you do that, after you distribute, you start canceling things out. So this is going to cancel out. 4x plus 25x gives you 29x. And then you simply drop down the 5. Then you ask yourself the same question. What times x will give me 29x? Well, plus 29. Then you do 29 times this. So that would be 29x. And then what we're going to have is not very large number, but semi-large. Minus 145. And then what you're going to do is again distribute the negative sign. So you have a negative and then a plus. That gives you a remainder of 150 when you add those two guys together. Now, for your remainder, when you have a number, it's plus 150 over x minus 5. Let me show you real quick the similarities between the two. If I just take, let's say, 3 into 16, right? This is the final answer. If you're done, that's fine. You could, stop the video. If you want to see this, you can continue playing. You ask yourself, how many times does 3 go into 16 without going over? 5, right? Then you multiply 5 times 3, which is 15, and then you subtract. 16 minus 15 gives you 1. Then you have a remainder of 1. Now to write that remainder, if you remember, you can have it as 5 and 1/3. Right? You're taking whatever the remainder is, and you're putting it over the divisor. And so very similar, you're doing the same thing here. You're asking yourself, okay, what times x will cancel out this x cubed here? Right? It has to be an x squared. And then you multiply, you did 5 times 3, which is 15. So you do the same thing here. X squared times this whole thing gives you this. Right? And then you subtract these two together. That's what you did here. And then for the remainder, right, the remainder ended up being 150. So you take that, right, and you put it over this. Well, when did you do that? When you're dealing with numbers. You did the same thing here. The remainder of 1, you simply put it over 3. So that's how they're the same. Long division is very intimidating, but don't find it intimidating. Just do it. It's the same exact strategy. You just have to work on it. It might take a little practice, but over time you can do it.